Hello Seekers, welcome to Puneet's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Coming back to the Sun transit once again. Sun, with its monthly movement into different zodiac, will move into the sign of Gemini on 15th of June, when Venus will also be present in the sign of Gemini. In Taurus, Sun will face a solar eclipse on 10th of June, and after 5 days, Sun will make its move out of the sign of Taurus. Gemini is a very airy zodiac sign. It is the first zodiac sign of air. It is the natural third house, representing communication, representing your strength, representing the ability and the free will. Gemini is also 11th from Leo, which means presence of Sun in Gemini is only working in favor of the Leo zodiac sign, and Sun expands and heats up the air, heats up the communication, but the ego also gets mixed. The identity crisis is very common with Sun in Gemini, and we have to be very careful while understanding our nature while Sun moves into this particular house. Also, while this placement will happen, Rahu in Taurus and Mars in the sign of Cancer is going to trap the Surya between the two zodiac sign of Taurus and Cancer. This is a kind of Pap Kartari Yoga, although Mars is debilitated. The day when Sun will move in this air zodiac, Moon will be in Ashlesha Nakshatra and along with Mars in Pushya, whereas Rahu and Mercury will be in the sign of Taurus, Mercury being in Mrigashira and Rahu being in Rohini Nakshatra. On the other hand, if you see the position, the 7th house from the Sun will be under Pap Kartari because of Ketu and Saturn. So the axis of the Sun, the 1-7 axis, is facing Pap Kartari. That means Sun would want to expand, but somebody will stop him. Somebody will protect him and somebody will create boundary. Who is that person? Who is that planet that is going to guide the Sun? Let us try to find it out. Do not forget to hit like if you like the video. Do share the video among family and friends to spread the word of astrology. Whatever suggestions you have, you can write down in the comment section below. Do not forget to hit subscribe, because it's subscription that keeps you and me stay connected. Hit the bell icon so that you get notifications when I upload a video. If you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. The email ID is right on the screen and in the description box below. Also, if you want to follow me on social media for more astrobites and exclusive Telegram channel for Telegram exclusive quick tips and videos, those are the short videos I upload on Telegram on a weekly basis. I will start that process this week onwards. All the links of social media are in the description box below. Let's begin with Sun in Gemini. June is an eventful month. At the beginning of the month, Mars went debilitated. Then there is a solar eclipse happening exactly on 10th of June. Then Sun will also move out of Taurus, moves to Gemini. Jupiter becomes retrograde on 20th of June. And therefore, you will see this movement of planet in and around Gemini, events that is happening around this 2-3 zodiac sign that will dominate the events in our life. Surya is soul, Surya is Atma, ego, ahamkar, self-esteem, government, power, authority, designation, father, grandfather, father-like figure. Sun is the light and life. When Sun goes in Gemini, Sun wants to communicate or exercise his power. This is when the king wants to show off the strength. This is when the king would like to tell you how powerful he is. He wants to expand his empire because it's all about the initial expansion. It's not a balanced expansion. Sun in Gemini is like a teenager given the throne, and we expect a matured behavior from that teenager as a king. Imagine the pressure on the young king. So Sun in Gemini is like a young prince, a young king who is dominating our life. The 3 nakshatras the Sun will transit to is Mrigashira, Then Sun will move into Ardra Nakshatra, which is the most dominant theme of this transit. Then Sun will also go into Punarvasu Nakshatra, therefore restoring all the solar energy. So the initial chaos, the initial momentum, it's like fanning the fire, will calm down when Sun will transit Punarvasu. Gemini is a dual nature zodiac sign, and it is between Rahu and Mars right now. So definitely the expansion is limited by the danger or the threats that lies in the sign of Taurus, which Mercury is definitely communicating, because the dispositor of Sun is Mercury, which is with Rahu. And on the second house, Mars, which is the military general for the Sun, is weak. He is debilitated. So he will not be in a position to provide necessary strength and support. On the other hand, when a king wants to look the other side, he wants to observe who is with that king, who is a diplomatic friend, from where the king can get support, who is the partner of the king. In that case, the king will look to the sign of Sagittarius, will look out for dharmic results. But if you see, Sagittarius is also hemmed between Saturn and Ketu. The energy of Sagittarius is towards the sign of Scorpio, therefore king will have to fulfill the prarabdha. On the other hand, Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius, is in Aquarius, aspecting the sun with its fifth aspect. Even if Jupiter is retro, still the aspect falls on the sun. This is a saving grace, which means that somebody who is a knowledgeable person will actually make you aware of the dangers that lies ahead. So in this time frame, if you get any kind of suggestion, doesn't matter who is the person giving you suggestion, just listen to it. Maybe he is right. You don't know through whom God will be communicating, through whom your horoscope will communicate to you. If you have any problem, you can consult a learned person. Because Jupiter's aspect on Gemini is definitely an expanding aspect, because Jupiter, being an airy planet, is in an airy house of Aquarius, but still Gemini is a very chaotic air zodiac sign. Jupiter aspect, fifth aspect, will tell king to learn from the drama that lies around him. So there will be a lot of dramatic events and circumstances, not necessarily negative, but somewhat dramatic, that you may have a laugh at later on. Also, if you observe, just 2 days after Jupiter will go retrograde on 22nd of June, Venus will move out from the sign of Gemini and will leave the Sun alone while Sun is in Ardra. Venus and Mars will be very close together on 22nd of June, and Rahu and Mercury will be going hand in hand in Taurus. This means the chaos in the mind about relationship, family, friends, marriage, these are the areas where the heat will rise. If you already have any kind of marital issue, if you already have any kind of problems in your life related to any kind of business contracts, business partner, marriage, in-laws, those areas has to be dealt carefully and without ego, because the Sun is going to fan the ego. Somebody will tell you something, some words will come to you that will inflammate your ego. Inflammation in the human body also has to be corrected. And when Sun goes to Ardra, this is the time when the light comes directly from Shiva. Completely surrendering your mindset, your life at the feet of Lord Shiva, and chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and chanting Mahamrityunjay mantra is going to be wonderful. While you are praying to Shiva, you can also chant Rudrashtakam and ask Shiva to give you the necessary direction, whereas you become ready to be a king of your own body, to be a king of your own life, but also an obedient student. Because Jupiter's fifth aspect is an educational aspect, so Jupiter will only help you if you become a student and listen to Jupiter. The advice will be from retrograde Jupiter, so definitely the advice will seem uncanny, unrealistic. But however unrealistic, however impossible the advice seems to be, focus. Because when you will focus on the advice given by Jupiter, you will see that it will make sense if you try to analyze the series of event. And if you use the Mercurian power, wait till the time when Mercury comes back to the sign of Gemini. This will happen towards the second half of the Surya transit, Sun transit in the sign of Gemini, when Mercury will be very close to Sun, not combust, not that close, but still Mercury will become direct and will enter and will meet the Sun. So all the negative information will be given to you. So the first 15 days of this transit is more about preparation, understanding of your life, and then the next 15 days is about execution of the task. Beware of Mars and Venus conjunction, because throughout that time Mars Venus will go in the hand in hand in the Cancer zodiac sign, which means there can be some emotional traps, there can be financial issues because of your emotion based decisions, and luxurious spending has to be avoided at all cost in this time frame. Spend what is necessary, otherwise Rahu will hurt your ego, and by hurting your ego, Rahu will try to creep into your subconsciousness and will create losses. There are very high chances of having financial losses in this time frame, not necessarily obviously for anybody, but only if your Gemini is negatively afflicted or your Sun is negatively afflicted in your horoscope. Moreover, this particular transit of Sun is more natural. There is nothing, I will say, too negative by this, if you have to go by this transit, or too positive. It's just that you may feel claustrophobic, you may feel trapped. The only way out in this case is just accepting to the situation and moving ahead, going with the flow. If you go with the flow, be it a matter of finance, be it a matter of home affairs, be it a matter of your own existence in this world, or a matter of your career, whatever be the case, you will be fine to move in a positive direction. You will be fine to take up the responsibility. You will be in a position to handle it positively, provided you don't start telling people your strength. You have to be very careful about how you communicate, how you talk, and how you spread the word, because Sun in Gemini is wildfire. People suffering from Vata dosha, that means doshas of air element in their body, should be very careful, because fire and air can actually aggravate the Vata dosha in their body. So for that, pranayama is very much necessary. Cleansing of body is very much needed in this time frame. Couple of more things. You have to find out where your Leo zodiac sign is in your horoscope. That zodiac sign will get maximum improvement, and through Gemini, it is going to create improvement. So try to make sure that whichever house Gemini rules in your horoscope, try not to create chaos through that house, because if you create chaos in that house, the house which is controlled by Gemini will be kind of okay, but Leo will get impacted, because all the gains of Leo will be stopped right at this boundary. So the king has to perform his duties in the best possible way. This is the time for learning of the king. It's a small journey that king has to cover before king gets his throne in the sign of Leo. So these couple of months, try your best to learn as much as you can. In fact, holistically, Ketu transit in Anuradha Nakshatra, Mars debilitation in the sign of Cancer, and Jupiter and Saturn retrograde, whereas Sun also coming between Papkartri, is saying this is the time for us to learn, connect with nature, and try to avoid disputes as much as you can by being humble, by surrendering to God, by being at the divine's feet. That is why Leo is 9th from the natural 9th house. It is a higher order surrender. It is the abode of the divine, Purva Punya. Thank you guys. That was a quick video on Sun transit in the sign of Gemini. I hope you like this video, and if you like, do not forget to like the video and also subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, namaste.